Hello, I'm Phil Jacobus. It's July 27th at 2:30 p.m. I'm in the office in New York City. Thanks very much for joining me. Today was a travel day for me, and the only reason I came into the office was to post this interview. It will be the only time you see me in a t-shirt. Today I'm joined by Larry Knight and Marshall Shannon, two famous people in the industry. This interview was recorded last Friday when I was in Woodstock, New York, and the two of them were together enjoying a cocktail after a long week of work. This particular interview had to be heavily edited because as the three of us got together, we reverted to our adolescent backgrounds. Before shifting to the interview, let's take a brief moment to catch up on a couple of the latest news items in healthcare business news online. First, you see Shared Medical Services and United Medical Imaging deploy the first mobile digital PET CT system in the US. This is significant not just because it's a mobile digital PET, but also because United Imaging is a Chinese-based company. So China is in our market. Next, Dr. Geraldine McGinty, president of the American College of Radiology and the chief of strategy and contracting at Weill Cornell Medical, speaks about scenario planning. It might seem like common sense to all of us and to you, but think about it. Did we do it? And now let's shift to Marshall and Larry. And again, I apologize for the editing. And don't forget to sign up for our news. It's free and you'll stay informed. Okay, I'd like to welcome my two guests today, Larry and Marshall. Thanks for joining me today.
Yep. Very welcome.
So these two fellows are two of the most interesting guys I know, and they're both happen to be down in and around Dallas, Texas, in and around Waxahachie, Texas. And they both operate sales and service companies for MRI and CT. Larry, we mentioned you first, but Marshall, tell us a little bit, a sentence from 5,000 feet in the air about image technology.
One Stop Philips MRI house. We do CT, but for the most part, we do point-to-point Philips installation service, whatever has to do with an MRI system from start to finish, from installation to completion, we handle in-house.
And you have a facility there with spare parts and test benches, and you travel all over the world. Is that correct?
We do.
And Larry, tell us about Ultima.
I humbly say we are a pure Siemens house. We are, I think, considered to be the Siemens experts when it comes to Siemens MRI. We only do Siemens, nothing else. And much of our business is escalation and quite a lot of parts.
And Larry, you also travel all over the world, correct?
Excuse me?
You also travel around the world.
We do travel around the world. A little less these days than previously, but yeah.
Now, this is an interesting side of diagnostic imaging because you fellows you don't work for the manufacturer, and you provide independent service. You provide independent service for your for customers and an alternative to either Siemens or Philips. And you can work on older machines and newer machines as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you have a certain segment of the market that you both service. Tell me, how have things, and Larry, this time we'll start with you, how have things changed during the pandemic?
A little bit slower. The interesting thing is I expected it to slow down to almost a dead stop, and it never did that. Throughout the course of the pandemic, we stayed very consistent. Revenue was hurt just a little bit, but we stayed very consistent through the pandemic. As the quarantine started to lift, it was like the floodgates opened, and this happened about a month ago. And everybody that had been waiting to do things for the previous 60 days seemed like they all wanted it done at once. So June and July for me been two of the highest revenue months I've seen in the last 6 years.
Marshall, how about you? And to what extent are you doing telephone support or internet or Zoom support?
We're not doing so much Zoom, but we've got a machine trailer that we bought to do basically so we could travel on site, because initially when the pandemic hit, we couldn't get hotels, we couldn't get travel, we couldn't get airfare. So we bought a toy hauler so we could haul all our travel equipment, and we'd go from site to site finishing installations where we could live in the trailer, stay in the trailer, eat in the trailer, and not be in front of the pandemic. But as far as revenue and service work, I don't think we've been busier for a single year in the last 10 years. The thing is, we haven't stopped working, and the infrastructure to do the work is sometimes more complicated. We've had to hotshot things. We've had to drive our own trucks to and from because we can't get trucks, we can't get hotels, we can't get normal travel arrangements. But outside of that, international travels almost came to a still stop because we can't travel there. But as far as in the United States, we probably have driven 9,000 miles on the new trailer. We've made 2 or 3 different installations on the new trailer. We've done at least 6 or 7 PMs on the new trailer. In fact, Larry and I drove to Austin for a project down in Austin where we took the trailer and we actually stayed at the hospital in the trailer for a day with our tools. Because again, with the worry about hotels, worry about food supply, worried about able to get meals outside, this was something of a concern. Now, in the last month or two, like Larry said, as things opened up, it's gotten a little bit easier. Texas has kind of opened up. We've got food, we've got normal things. But when this pandemic first hit, we had 4 months of really nothing, fend for yourself kind of thing. And all our customers were waiting for the installations or waiting for the de-installations. And this trailer was a way that we could go get them done. I took 3 guys in the trailer and we went from site to site finishing installations. We had our rig gear with us. We had our ramp supplies with us. We had a complete trailer full of tools with us, and we just knocked it all out. It was actually kind of cool, a 3-week boys vacation.
Now, Larry, what are you drinking? And Marshall, what are you drinking?
It is ice water.
Ice water. And I know that every Friday you guys get together. Ice water. Is there anything mixed with that ice water?
No, it's Scotch, and Marshall
Scotch,
and I have a
Scotch
theory
Friday
about
in
that.
Dallas.
We stay healthy. We don't let the COVID positive cough on us, and we drink Scotch at least twice a week. We're trying to heal our bodies from the inside out and keep up our immunities. So far, it's working, right, Marshall?
No COVID positive testing yet, and I've been lots and lots of COVID places.
So tell me, do you wear masks when you go to these places? I guess you
Absolutely.
have required, right?
I came up with a concept when this thing first started. I ordered adult baby wipes, so adult series hygiene wipes for people who have incontinence. Basically, it's baby wipes that are a little bigger. And then I take those packs, order 50 of them, and I add a half a cup of 99% alcohol in each pack. And we put those packs of napkins in every truck and every vehicle and everything that we use. And it's basically routine. We go in with those wipes and wipe everything down before we get there. We wipe everything down while we're there. We tell the customer they're not allowed in the area while we're there. We wipe everything down before we leave. And then we scoogie. And we've got a procedure now to keep everything clean and keep people that could be infected away from us. And we make a deal with the customer. Look, we'll come service your site, but you've got to keep your people away from us because we don't know you. You don't know us when it comes to the pandemic.
So, Larry, how are things? Waxahachie is a small town. How are things in Waxahachie?
Waxahachie itself, I think there's only been 2 confirmed COVID cases. In Ellis County, in the entire Ellis County, there's only been 29 confirmed cases, and at least up to this day, only 2 deaths. So Waxahachie and Ellis County, much like Dallas County, has a mask order. So if you're going to walk into a major supermarket or anything else, you've got to have a mask to walk in. Virtually every business is like that. Other than that, go to the grocery store when you need it. We do a lot of Costco shopping and buy stuff in bulk. Don't eat out as much as we used to. I think Marshall's probably the same way. When you do eat out, you order it in and eat it in instead of going out. We don't avoid the restaurants, but where maybe at one time I would eat out 3 or 4 times a week, maybe it's down to once a week now.
Right. I haven't eaten out
at all since March. Well,
That-
once or twice.
That's not a really a fair statement, because you are
Aren't
in
aren't
the beautiful.
aren't you hiding out in your
Woodstock.
second house?
You're in the beautiful Woodstock area, and every day is an eat out. Come on.
That's right. Larry told me that you're hiding up in the woods somewhere.
I am. I'm hiding in the woods, and I'm enjoying it.
Well, no
And
better place to be. I wish I was there having the scotch with you instead of you here.
I wish I was there because I've heard so much about this. And now, Larry, you just celebrated 20 years. Marshall,
10 years.
10 years. Marshall,
10 years.
10 years at 10 years at Ultima, not 10 years in the business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe me, I know.
Yeah.
How are you, Marshall? How old is?
Image is right at 20, over 20.
Okay, so next question. Both of you feel prepared, ready, willing, and able to service whatever clients you have.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt, I'm just waiting for the international borders to open back because I've got a lot of clients as well as machines that I own outside the country that I haven't been able to work on in 4 months.
Thank you, Larry, and thank you, Marshall.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.